Hey man, the disrespect stops today, and I'm here to give these brothers their flowers because whether people like to admit it or not, Bow Wow and Soulja Boy are pioneers and trailblazers in this game. Yup, you heard that correctly. And for the ones that disagree, it's because sometimes it gets overshadowed by all the foolishness they be doing these days. But that still can't erase the legacy they've created, as both of these guys came a long way and still current in rap's culture. So stop sleeping on these living legends and put respect on their names, man. Bow Wow. You can say with him that he was born to be a star because it all came so natural for him without even trying. So from an early age, he was practicing in his living room in local talent shows and was rapping under the name Kid Gangsta. What a time. But he got his moment to display his skills as Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre was in town for a show, and Bow Wow's mom would go to the show and bring him along. Either moms couldn't find a babysitter or she just didn't give a damn to bring a 6-year-old Bow Wow to a gangster rap concert, so Kid Gangsta fit his name for the moment. There was a segment where Snoop and Dre would bring people on stage to rap, and Bow Wow was one of them that got the opportunity to, and when he did, he killed it, so much that the crowd went crazy, and Dre and Snoop was so impressed that they wanted to meet him after the show to discuss some business, as they saw early potential in him. But Daz Dillinger says he's the one that actually discovered Lil Bow Wow, because he says he saw him in the crowd and brought him backstage. So him, Dre, and Snoop all joke about who discovered Bow Wow, but it's all love.
Bow Wow. I found, out of everybody in the death row, I found Bow Wow. Me, my cousin, and DJ Jam was walking in the arena in Ohio, and this man jumped out and said, my son can rap. And you know, I'm a producer, so I said, hit it, let me show you. And a little nigga Brat. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take you in the back with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. In the back of there. And from then on, he rap for them. And I be telling Bow Wow all the time, you know, you give all the praise to all them other niggas, but I'm the nigga that found you.
Literally.
For real. If I'd been like, walked off, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bow Wow.
So after having him do a couple shows for them, they wanted to take it further, and Snoop Dogg wanted to sign him and was now mentoring Bow Wow under the Death Row Records umbrella, having him around all kinds of gangster activities, and even put Bow Wow in the Gin and Juice video, slowly introducing him to the game and gave him the official new name Lil Bow Wow. Snoop Dogg, Lil Bow Wow, you see the connection? Bow Wow Wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, you get it. But around this time, Death Row was beefing, and also in the East Coast West Coast beef, and Snoop didn't want Lil Bow Wow to be in no parts of his mess, and knew that Death Row was not the place for him, and had to go be with someone who's gonna mentor him the proper way. Snoop already had a relationship with Jermaine Dupri and figured that this is the best person to put him in care of, and also because JD had a good history with developing young kid talent such as Crisscross. So after the connection switch, they would get to working, getting him prepared to be an artist, and at the age of 13 he dropped his debut album Beware of the Dog in 2000, and Lil Bow Wow came out swinging with hits off the bat, man. For his young age, he was spitting fast with breath control, he knew how to bounce on the beat, and he already was sounding like a veteran except with the teeny kid voice. He was on go mode for real. His debut single Bounce With Me was definitely a bop at the time, and he would follow it up with singles like What's My Name featuring Snoop, Puppy Love featuring Jagged Edge, and Ghetto Girls. Man, he was just getting started, y'all. His second album Doggy Bag dropped in 2002, and he would drop songs like Take You Home and Thank You, and this album would be another successful one. And in the midst of his second album, he was now dipping his feet into the world of acting. It would star in the movie Like Mike and release the official song for the movie Basketball. Yo, Lil Bow Wow was making it look easy because his acting skills were pretty good, and then he's dropping hot songs at the same time. He was one of the original double threats that could act and rap at the same time for such a young age. This was around the same time he officially dropped the Lil from his name, now just calling himself Bow Wow because he said there was too many Lils in the rap game. In 2003, he dropped his third album Unleashed. This was around the time Birdman was working with Bow Wow heavy with Cash Money, and this album had singles like Let's Get Down with Birdman, My Baby featuring Jagged Edge, and this album was okay. It was Bow Wow's first time working away from Jermaine Dupri, and it showed through the music. He needed to get back to the roots of the music and what made him shine, and went back to Jermaine Dupri for his fourth album, Wanted, that came out in 2005, and this album was good as it had singles like Let Me Hold You featuring Omarion, Like You with Ciara, Fresh as I'm Is, this album had bangers. He would keep the momentum going, and in 2006 dropped another album, The Price of Fame, and he had big songs on it like Shorty Like Mine with Chris Brown and Out of My System featuring T-Pain. He was now starting to do more adult grown music instead of all that teeny bopper stuff. He had released 2 more official albums, New Jack City in 2009 and his collaboration album with Omarion, Face Off in 2007. And ever since this album, he's continued to work on music and drop singles every so often. So he's not completely done with music, but just hasn't released a full body of work in a long time. But honestly, at this point for him, does it even matter? He's way bigger than just music and took a serious jump into the acting world. And he didn't just act in some movies as an extra. He was the lead star of some and co-stars of others. Better put respect on his acting name. Earlier on in his career, he had a small role in All About the Benjamins. He played an important role in Johnson's Family Vacation. He starred in Roll Bounce as one of the lead roles. He jumped in the Fast and Furious franchise and was in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift and F9. He starred in Lottery Ticket, and this was a very good movie and showed his more vulnerable side of acting. He was in Hurricane Season, Medea's Big Happy Family, among many others. He made a solid name for himself in acting, and besides acting, he was in numerous of shows and hosting gigs, such as 106 & Park. And this dude is lucky because he got to kiss Tyra Banks at that time, which was everyone's crush. Oh man. He also did Grown Up Hip Hop among many other TV shows, but this show was not a good look for him, and I feel like it kind of helped the media start clowning him and disrespecting his legend status, because he was always wilding out on the show, getting into it with Jermaine Dupri, disrespecting him, just a bunch of corniness, so much that him and the Brat was always getting into it because she would always stick up for JD, calling out Bow Wow's ridiculousness. And then you had the Bow Wow Challenge, which made it worse because this was when he pretended to have his own private jet living it up, but then a fan saw him on the plane flying commercial and took a photo and busted him out, and it had the internet going nuts, doing their own version of the Bow Wow Challenge. As you can see in the picture, he posted Travel Day, NYC, press run for Grown Up Hip Hop, let's go, I promise to bring y'all the hottest show ever. And then the fan posted, so this guy Lil Bow Wow is on my flight to New York, but on Instagram he posted a picture of a private jet caption, travel to New York today, shaking my head. But y'all better stop playing Bow Wow, man, cause he's far from broke, and this man's woman's roster is up there with the best of them. Don't play with him. But some of these same relationships have gotten him into a lot of trouble. Bow Wow and Ciara were together from 2004 to 2006. People used to try to clown him for being shorter than her and looking awkward, but he still clapped cheeks though, and at the peak of her career too. He dated Dulcie O'Brien, Kim Kardashian in the early days, Joey Chavez, aka his first baby moms, Angela Simmons for like 2 years on and off, Aisha Diaz, Erica Mena, Keisha Cole, who turned up on him and messed up both of his friends' Rolls Royce and Benz car. But hey, that's Keisha for you, as he explains in his Vlad interview.
It was just weird, man. You know, I think I sent my peoples downstairs to let someone in, and when they came back up, they said, yo, I need to speak to you, I need to speak to you. They said, yo, the fucking Rolls Royce is like huffed. And I'm like, what? It's like total. Like, it's cake, there's flour, there's eggs, the mirror's broke.
Oh, the mirrors are broke even.
I'm like, because I didn't know how he was gonna react. And I just had to keep it real with him. Like, hey man, I think one of my crazy ass, I don't know if it was one of my exes, I don't know if it was a girl from the house. Somebody got mad and they messed your Rolls Royce up. They messed my partner's Benz up. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
And this was Keisha Cole who allegedly did it?
I'm gonna be all the way real and honest. For us, that's all I could think about, because I'm not gonna share too much personal information, but we had went through some shit, and for that to happen at that time, how it happened, the first person I thought about.
He dated Kiyomi, and this was another bad look for him, as video came out of him aggressively snatching his keys from her hands and him all in her face yelling, and thank God he didn't hit her. But there was another incident which they got into it and both of them got locked up, and from the looks of it, it looks like she's the one that beat him up, cause he has all kinds of marks on his face and body. And look at her, nothing is wrong with her as far as damage, and if there was any photos or damage of her, trust me, there would be all over the internet, but there's not. Cause look at how light skinned she is, it would have shown. But it just shows when a woman calls 911, that's just how it goes. But if it wasn't for the physical damage she did to him on his face that's visible, things could have gone a lot worse for him. And the last woman he has been seen with supposedly dating is Jada Pinkett Smith's niece, Jade Pinkett. So yeah, y'all better put respect on his roster. So for the most part, he stayed out of trouble and controversy. The only quote unquote scandal he's had was the rumor about his bodyguard assaulting him when he was younger. And I remember it like it was yesterday because everyone believed it. But on the Vlad interview, he cleared it up.
The one rumor that's always kind of lingered around that I don't think that you've ever addressed, and I just want to ask you flat out, there's been the crazy rumor that you got raped by your security guard.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, that was like the first rumor that like ever had came out. I'll never forget that shit. I was in Paris, France. I was in Paris coming back to the States. I had to call into the radio station to just clear that shit up. It never was really nothing crazy. Like, cause like I said, like people gonna talk, people gonna make up stuff, people gonna say things. That's just a part of the game. You know what I mean? People have said the most craziest shit about people all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't even know where that shit even started from. I don't even know. I never really had to. That might be like my fourth time ever really having to like answer that question. So yeah, nobody asked me that shit.
So that never slowed his career down at all. So I guess it never really mattered cause like he said, it's a lie. And wanting to get into the food industry, he has a restaurant in Atlanta called Prime, and the food looks pretty good and the prices are very reasonable, unlike other rapper restaurants and such. But let me know if anyone watching this has tried the food. He's also had his own do-rag line for the longest, and next time I'm in stores, I'll make sure to buy his on purpose. Plus they look premium too. Listen, Bow Wow has lived many of our childhood fantasies of being a kid star growing up with fame and money. He was the original blueprint of the kids we see today. Rapper, actor, multi-talented, and can easily switch lanes. He's come a long way, man. He's got 3 kids now, still doing millennial tours, giving us that nostalgia feeling, still on TV acting crazy, still getting in trouble. Man, Mr. Shad Moss, here's your flowers, my brother. You deserve it. Soulja Boy, another pioneer in the game that deserves more respect than he's given because it's overshadowed by his antics, but you still can't erase history, and he paved the way for the new generation of rap style and genre today. He was actually born in Chicago and at age 6 moved to Atlanta and eventually moved to Mississippi with his dad when he was 14. So he's had a traveling upbringing, but all that Compton, Bompton stuff is a lie. So while in Mississippi, his dad brought him a recording studio to keep him busy, and because Soulja was very ambitious, he made the best of it, and this would be the start of his music career. He was uploading his beats and music to websites like Newgrounds and SoundClick, and oh man, SoundClick? That takes me way back because I used to use this website heavy to get my beats and upload music, and I still have music up there today. But yeah, so I understood the path that he was going as far as adapting to the internet times and the new wave. While getting good feedback, he decided to keep expanding websites to upload his music to be heard. He uploaded his first video on YouTube on March 15, 2006. Yup, Soulja Boy was not lying when he said he was the first rapper on YouTube because he literally was the first rapper to upload music there. And around this time he uploaded his songs in 2006. This was a mixtape physical CD era coming to an end because the internet and streaming music was now taken over, and Soulja Boy made sure to be one of the first ones on an internet wave doing music. He would keep putting out songs and dance challenges on his YouTube and social media, and it was a song, I Got Me Some Bathing Apes, that was catching fire and becoming very popular to the websites he uploaded them to. And he would drop his first independent album called Unsigned and Still Major, the album before the album, in March 2007. And around the same time he had recorded his biggest song up to today's date, Crank That Soulja Boy. And man, I remember this like yesterday when my cousin came from Florida, pop, lock, and snapping, talking about this the new Soulja Boy dance, and I hated it at first because I'm used to actual rap and lyrics, and this fool was just you and everywhere talking nonsense. But that you part is the only part of the dance I can do. It's too many steps for me. But I quickly saw in real time how it was taking over the internet and the kids, because you have this young lanky kid wearing 5X t-shirts, dancing like crazy, having fun with it. And yes, we've seen this before, but as as a rapper, doing all this locking and dancing, giving you tutorial on how to do the dance was never seen before. Soulja was dancing and rapping at the same time, making it swaggy. And the song and dance was taking over the internet so much that it got the attention of Mr. Kali Park, who had a partnership with Interscope Records at the time. They re-recorded the song and video and put out the official music video, and things took off. In October 2007, he released his official album, Soulja Boy Tell 'Em, and he had some catchy songs on it like Crank That, of course, Soulja Girl, Yeah Trick, Yeah, and Donk, which became a booty shaker anthem. Oh my god, I love that song. So this album was pretty solid. He would keep things going and dropped his second album, I Soulja Boy Tell 'Em, in December 2008, and the album didn't do good on the charts because it debuted at number 43, which was a big dip from the first, but this album had cultural classic songs that still stands the test of time today, cause it has songs like Turn My Swag On, which is a huge song, Kiss Me Through the Phone featuring Sammy, and Birdwalk. So this album wasn't that bad. His third album, The DeAndre Way, came out in November 2010, and this album was not very good and had only like one good song in my opinion, which was Pretty Boy Swag, the lead single. And to me, it seems like after this album, Soulja would start to switch his sound from the fun snap dancing music and was now talking about Dracos and smoking niggas, a complete shift. This was the Gangsta Soulja era, and he would continue to drop albums and mixtapes, but no one was paying attention to them no more because of all the antics he was now doing. And I think it may have started around the infamous December 2008 robbery, where his house was kicked in and he was robbed and beaten, but was able to shoot the guys. Now this story is a classic because he put so much sauce onto it the way he reenacts it, and it's hilarious. And because of this, it had people making fun of him, saying he was lying, and they even made a challenge out of it called the Soulja Boy Challenge, where celebrities would add sauce to the most ridiculous stories, just clowning. Then there was a time he was wilding out on the internet, walking through the hoods of California, talking about who says Soulja not gangsta and Soulja not from the hood, asking a whole bunch of random people, to which he puts his arm around one of the dudes and the dude throws his arms off and wants to fight. And as you can see, Soulja Boy pretending like he wants to fight, but he's basically just backing up behind his boys. Scary ass nigga. So because of this video, everyone was making fun of him again, just clowning him for trying so hard to be hood when he's not. Then he went on a phase of dissing every rapper and was getting very disrespectful with some of the things he was saying. This was a whole new Soulja, y'all. He started going at Drake, saying Drake stole his flow on the Kiss Me Through the Phone song. When he went on the infamous Drake rant, he was going off on Tyga. He was getting at Chris Brown cause Chris got mad that Soulja liked the picture of Karuchi. He was going at Young Chop, Southside. He said some real disrespectful things to Young Dolph before and after he died, basically saying he didn't care that he's dead and a whole bunch of nonsense.
To release my song, I'm supposed to delete my song. Nigga, you can't take a song out of iTunes once it's already uploaded. Niggas act like I'm supposed to stop my whole career, my whole album release and my music release because some shit happened that I ain't got no control over, bro. A nigga died, so I'm supposed to delete my whole single out the iTunes store when it's already scheduled for release? It was gonna release that day anyway, nigga. I didn't know this nigga was finna die. I woke up to him dead like everybody else. My motherfucking song was still on the way to the stores. I can't call iTunes and be like, take my song down.
And also said disrespectful things about Young Metro's mom that's dead. He was wilding out and being disrespectful, and this was turning people off big time with Soulja, man. He was spiraling out of control. Not only that, he was also getting himself caught in legal troubles, because in 2019 he was sued by his ex-girlfriend for abuse and kidnapping, and she won the case, and he was ordered to pay her $471,000. In the same 2019, he was sentenced to 240 days of jail time for violating his probation from a 2014 gun charge, but ended up only serving 94 days because he was released early. In 2021, he was sued by a former assistant of his who alleged that he locked her in a room and physically abused her and took the kitty cat by force. And unfortunately, he lost the case and was found liable and ordered to pay $4 million to her, but he was cleared of false imprisonment. His ex-girlfriend, Nia Riley, also claimed that he used to put put his hands on her. So it seems like Soulja may have a problem with his hands, allegedly. But all this was giving him a bad look. And just recently on August 3rd, he was arrested after getting pulled over while in the passenger seat, and the cops found a gun, but he has since been released and the prosecutors dropped the gun charges. Lucky him. So besides this recent incident, it seems like he had took some time off to settle down and relax, for now that is. And while relaxing, he decided to expand his business portfolio because he opened up his SOD Money Gang store in California and is looking good so far. And he still has a lot of work to do, but is going in the right direction because he just opened up his second store. In 2018, he bought a Subway franchise and was trying to get that going, but it didn't last long and the store ended up getting shut down.
Boy, Soulja Boy, what the fuck you mean my Subway is closed today? Yo, see, that's why you can't give young hood people jobs. They messing it up, you know what I'm saying? They unprofessional, like, come on, bro, we had to close the shop, bro. They showing up to work on time, bro.
In that same year, 2018, he had launched the Soulja Boy console, which many called a ripoff because it had every game on that damn console. But it was eventually shut down because of all the copyrights of the games he copied to the system. But at least he tried. Soulja Boy is trying to stay clean on the right path. And because of all his foolery, people tend to overlook his legacy, but you can't deny the impact he's had. All these little internet TikTok dances and tutorials that's all on the internet now, yes, he was actually the first rapper to do it, and he helped to push music on the internet and streaming before it was a thing. He had the blueprint already made, so his legacy ain't done yet, folks. Give him some time and put respect on the Andre Way's name. Both of these guys have came a long way and they still have more to go because they're now in their mid-late 30s, and the way music is going, they can still be around for a long time as legacy acts, easily, still making millions. And the good thing with them is that they came up around the same era, have worked with each other on songs and albums, and have gone on tour together, which is good to see as brothers in the game together, you know? But all of this almost didn't exist because Bow Wow and Soulja Boy once had beef. Yeah, obviously it wasn't nothing close to being serious, but it was just funny how serious they took it. But this all started because Soulja Boy challenged Bow Wow to a race in their Lamborghinis, but then added that he owned his and Bow Wow was renting his. And that's how it started, as both of them started going back and forth. Man, look at Bow Wow having the goons stand behind them, going back and forth on diss songs at each other. It was hilarious, but eventually they squashed it, made songs together, went on tour together, and made history together. These two have influences in the rap game, whether people want to admit it or not. Soulja Boy made it cool to make all these dance type songs, which now have transformed itself to TikTok dance songs. Artists like Lil Yachty, Chief Keef, Lil Tecca, Rich the Kid, and many more. Soulja has a lot of sons in the game, y'all. He used the internet for music and pioneered how to master social platforms before it blew up. As far as Bow Wow, he made it a reality that you can be a good rapper and a good kid actor at the same time, because the youngins didn't have no one to look up to as kid artists besides Crisscross, but he came in and showed a whole new different path and took it far. His dual influence is inspired by other artists that were influenced from him, like Rich Homie Quan, Vince Staples, the Jaden and Jada Smiths of the world, and many more. He was the first child rap star. So yeah, even though these two continue to do very goofy things and they both were part of challenges, the Soulja Boy challenge and the Bow Wow challenge, they have come a long way, y'all, and I will never ever disrespect the legacy they laid out, and that's why I'm giving these brothers their flowers. Salute Soulja Boy, salute Bow Wow, yeah man. But yeah, thanks for watching my little mini documentary. If you like this, hit the like button, and I'ma make sure to catch y'all on the next one. Yeah.